Hello, my name is Jorge Jasso. In prior readings, we have discussed different theories of learning and cognitive development. Each theory has described the factors necessary for the achievement of particular skills and the capabilities or conditions essential to cognitive growth in thinking. In this chapter, we will discuss the principles of motivation and its models and theories. We start our discussion of the principles of motivation by learning of the individuals who helped establish the importance of achievement motivation. The first person I'm going to talk about is John W. Atkinson. John William Atkinson was born on December 31st, 1923, and died on October 27, 2003. John Atkinson was an American psychologist who pioneered the scientific study of human motivation, achievement, and behavior. He was a World War II veteran and a longtime professor at the University of Michigan. Atkinson was a leader in establishing motivation as a distinct field of study in psychological research. He established the model of achievement motivation. In his model of achievement motivation, Atkinson identified the individual's disposition to either strive for success or avoid failure as a key motivation factor. Atkinson believed that if a student's motive for success was high, then he or she would likely engage in achievement tasks. He also cautioned that if a student's disposition to avoid failure was high, the student would avoid achievement tasks as much as possible. Atkinson's model also identified two other important factors of a student's belief system that influenced achievement motivation. Those two factors were the expectancy for success and the incentive value of success. A second contributor to the principles of motivation is an Austrian psychologist named Fritz Heider. Fritz Heider was born in Vienna, Austria in 1896. Heider is famous for developing a different perspective on motivation. Unlike Atkinson, Heider proposed that understanding the causes of past events would influence an individual's future actions. He called this view the attribution theory. When it comes to the classroom instruction, attribution theory shares three basic assumptions with the expectancy value model and goal orientation model. The three basic assumptions are: 1. Academic motivation develops in part from a complex interaction of classroom factors. Examples of these include social norms, the reactions of teachers to student success and failures, and students' prior achievement history. The second assumption states that the student is an active processor and interpreter of classroom setting. What this means is that students are able to self-assess themselves and interpret their findings. The third assumption states that students can reflect and report their perceptions to others. Here, students are able to reflect on what they believe and communicate those beliefs to others. Another assumption is that motivation is subject-specific. In other words, students' values and goals may differ for mathematics, biology, history, literature, and other courses. Each of the three assumptions describe a different set of factors that account for the achievement-related behaviors of persistence, choice of tasks, cognitive engagement, and performances. The motivational process is made up of three components. Those components are the expectancy value model, goal orientation models, and the attribution theory. Let's go ahead and look at the expectancy value model. The first component of the motivational process is the expectancy value model. The expectancy value model identifies the value of the tasks and the expectancy of success as key motivational processes. The term task is in the model referred to domain or a course, such as mathematics or social studies. Task value of a model is made up of four components. The first component is attained value. Attained value deals with the importance of doing well in a particular domain or course. The next component of task value is the intrinsic value. An example of intrinsic value would be the enjoyment of doing well by a student. The third component is the utility value. A utility value is simply the usefulness of a course or domain for a child. An example of this is does the student benefit from taking a particular course. The last component of motivational process is cost. Here, cost is not monetary, but rather a form of participation or time. An example of this would be if a student has to give up participation in one activity to be able to participate in another. The motivational process is also affected by other factors such as a student's effective memories, motivational beliefs, self-schemata, and goals. When it comes to a student's motivational beliefs, factors such as the student's social world, their interpretation of that world, and prior achievement-related experiences can influence the student's motivational beliefs. The second component of the motivational process is the goal orientation models. Goal orientation models address issues such as the reasons why students participate or engage in academic tasks. Goal-oriented models have two general orientations: learning-related or mastery-oriented goals and performance/ego-oriented goals. Students with learning-related goal orientations seek to develop new skills and increase their competence. They also tend to hold an incremental view of intelligence. Learning-related goals are broken into four orientations: learning goals, mastery goals, task, focus goals, and task orientations. Students that have learning goal orientations will measure success by the way they master new tasks. If they make progress in learning new skills, or feel pleased when they have engaged in challenging tasks. Performance goal orientation includes two subcategories: performance approach and performance avoidance. The performance approach orientation is accompanied by efforts to demonstrate superior performance or outperforming others or doing well with little effort. Performance avoidance, in contrast, is accompanied by avoiding unfavorable judgment or competence. Students with performance goal orientations tend to hold an entity view of intelligence. Finally, the third and last component of the motivational process is the attribution theory. Attribution theory addresses an individual's determination of an outcome as success or failure and likely causes for the outcome. Sources of information in identifying attributes are the individual's success history, social norms, and performance records of others, the learner's causal schema, individual characteristics, and developmental level. Typical attributions for success and failure outcomes are ability, effort, task, difficulty, and luck. Failure can occur due to lack of effort, poor strategies, and bad luck. Properties or dimensions of attributions are the key factors that generate emotional reactions. For example, helping others can generate gratitude but not pride. Likewise, receiving help from others will not influence the student's self-esteem. A negative outcome attributed to lack of ability might generate a feeling of shame or embarrassment. Children's motivational beliefs are not static. Research indicates that they develop and change over time. Children's competence beliefs and expectancies for success for different tasks typically decline across the elementary school years into middle school. Identification of likely attributions for achievement outcomes also changes throughout childhood. By the age of 11 or 12, children begin to make normative evaluations of their ability. By that age, children use concepts such as effort, ability, task, difficulty, and luck in an adult-like way, even if they cannot explain their reason. A rationale for the changes in motivation is that children become more proficient at understanding and interpreting the feedback they receive, and some self-assessments become more negative. Another reason for the changes in children's motivation is the interaction between their information processing skills and alterations in school settings. Under learners' helplessness, we find that individuals with low in-self-concepts who have experienced few successes are likely to attribute failure to a lack of ability or to see relationship between their success and their own actions. On the other hand, mastery-oriented individuals tend to acknowledge their errors but do not regard them as failures. They blame their mistakes on uncontrollable factors such as bad luck, lack of effort, and unfairness of assessment.